Welcome back to day 3 of the top lessons that I learned through, during, and after my divorce. So today I want to share the third biggest takeaway for me during the process. Now, this is not an easy one to share because it was one of the hardest things for me to learn to grasp. The truth is, the way that people treat you is a reflection of what they are dealing with, not what you're going through or feeling. So let me say that again. The way that people treat you is a reflection on what they are dealing with, not necessarily what you've done. So the reality is, people make choices based on hurt most often, right? Many of us are living life based on hurt because in society we're taught to put on this outer facade, make sure we're looking good, make sure our Instagram post is up to date, make sure everyone in our life thinks everything is good. But behind the curtains, you don't really know what's happening. And so because people are like shoving that hurt under the rug or shoving the things that they're embarrassed about under the rug, they're not ever really able to heal. So we have lots of adults that are still broken children on the inside, lots of adults that are trying to recover from things that they're unwilling to talk about. And in turn, they bring a lot of that pain and that hurt into relationships. And so the way that people treat you in relationships often is a reflection on them and what they're dealing with. When I was going through my divorce, I was so hurt because it felt like everything my ex did was intentional. It felt like everything he did was trying to harm me or to hurt me or to stop me or to keep me stuck or really to kill me. That's what it felt like. Obviously, that's an extreme feeling, but that's what it felt like in the moment. And looking back now, I'm able to see that he was operating from a hurt place. So in turn, what I did is because I was hurt, I was offended, I began to operate from a hurt place. And so there was this tit for tat. And in relationships, any relationships, it's not healthy to do the tit for tat, right? Because the way they treat you is a reflection on them, but the way you respond is a reflection on you. And so we have to understand that it's not personal. If you walk through life wanting everything to be personal, or you walk through life looking for reasons to be bitter or angered or upset or offended, you're going to continue to feel that way. But if you understand the way that the people are treating you has nothing to do with you, then you'll be able to operate from a place of grace, able to shift your perspective and say, wow, I wonder what it is that he or she is going through. Wow, I wonder what it is that has caused them to behave this way. And you remove your emotions from the equation, allowing you to operate from a more rational place. And so I challenge you today to flip the script a little bit. Instead of blaming yourself or shaming yourself or holding on to anger or bitterness or resentment towards that other person, I want you to give that person grace and look from a different lens and ask yourself, what is it that this person has experienced that has allowed them to behave this way? When I was going to school to get my counseling degree, I had a teacher tell me that at one point or another, we're going to work with clients that maybe we don't get along with and maybe we don't even understand. And he said the best way to understand another person is to take a moment and reflect and ask yourself, under what circumstances would I behave in that same way? So maybe your spouse cheated on you and you're like, I don't understand why they would cheat. But maybe if they grew up in a household where that's all that they witnessed or all that they experienced, or that's how they've normalized relationships, then it makes that make sense, right? We have to shift our perspective and stop thinking what you wouldn't do, but try to understand why that person may be operating from fear, why that person may be operating from hurt, why that person may be operating from bitterness or anger or resentment, and why that carried over into your relationship. And most importantly, show them grace, because ultimately the way people treat you has more to do with what they are dealing with than anything it has to do with you. So comment below if you have any questions or feedback from me. I'd love to hear from you guys now that we're on to day 3. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.